Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Daughters of the King. And today we're going to talk about self love and self worth. Now, today, is going to be a little different than, like I said, we're going to be talking things through, like, from a biblical standpoint. And what I find interesting is that, from a biblical standpoint, when you're doing self love or self care, you have to dig deep down into your heart, like into your heart of hearts. And you have to decide for yourself, is this what I really want? So, from my standpoint, I, as I had mentioned, was, in the hospital diagnosed with bipolar disorder. As I was doing like this next chapter, which was group therapy, they taught me how to cope. They taught me different life skills that I needed in order to be where I am today. So, for starters, it never hurts to, pamper yourself just a little bit when you're feeling down. I know for me, I love a good, hot bubble bath. I get my bath bombs. I get, my bubble bath if I have it, and I put them both together, and I will sit in the bath for hours and just, relax, and it's so nice. Another thing that you gotta be careful though, just because you can spend so much on yourself. Like, it never hurts to treat yourself to, a little treat or a little shopping spree here and there. But if you end up getting out of control, then that's a bad thing. Um, really just setting time aside to, give yourself some intentional prayer, and you have to give everything up to God. Like, if you're going to do it from this kind of standpoint, you've got to give it up to God. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And for me, that was really hard to surrender. It was really hard to say, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to pray. And I'm going to really think about what it means to pray and pray to God and ask why, and really think about, like, why do these things happen to me? I know when I was in the psych ward, I would sit there, and even though I was socializing with people, I would still sit there and I would think, like, why am I here? Like, I don't belong here. I'm normal. No, you're not. If you're in that kind of place, it's not that you're not normal, it's that you need help. And I didn't want to at first accept the help I was getting, because I was like, like I said, I didn't want to accept the help I was getting or the treatment, because I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't. But I knew I had to for my own sake. So I would sit and I would pray, and I'd read the Bible a little bit, but I'd really sit there and pray. And I swear to you, one night, I was just sitting there thinking, and all of a sudden I heard music, and I was like, is the music on out in the hallway? I went and looked. Nope. Nope. The TV wasn't on, nothing. It was God talking to me through music, like he always does. And I heard the song God, I Look to You on, just on. And it was such a good song, and it talks about how, God, I look to you, I won't be overwhelmed, and give me vision to see things like you do. In the hardest times of our life, if we've got to give it up to him, because he can help us tremendously. So intentional prayer is, a really big deal, and that's, a good thing to have. Another thing is spending time just by yourself, just take the time you need to just spend the time alone and really think about, like, okay, I was, for example, broken up for this reason. This is the reason why I'm single. What do I need to work on? Those three questions, those three pinpoints. So the question of, okay, why did I get broken up with? Well, I wasn't the nicest person. And I'll admit it, I wasn't. Another thing was, how do I heal? And healing is within your own self. Like, why did this happen? How did I get, how do I heal? And then how did I get here? How we heal is through, giving up to God, spending time alone, being single for the time being, as much as it sucks, and working on yourself, figuring out, okay, why do I need to work on myself? We all have times we got to work on our own selves. So why not this one be part of it? And it's nice because it gives you time to reflect, to really think about, okay, I was the problem. So what can I do so that way if I get into another relationship, I don't become the problem again. Even though in this case it was both of us. But I know me and how I am. I got diagnosed. I went on medicine. I took the time to be single throughout my entire group therapy session, even though it was really hard. And I made some amazing friends while I was there. And just really listening and focusing and being like, okay, I can do this. I got this. God's got me. When the right time comes, he'll bring a man into my life, And sure enough, he did. I got reunited with someone I knew 14 years ago, and now he's my boyfriend. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Keeping up with your own needs. So really what that means is, going for a walk. Get some fresh air. Take time for you. Spend time with yourself. If that means you get bath bombs and you take a bath, if that means you hang out with your friends, if that means you whatever you do to cope, whatever way you do to love yourself and realize, oh, okay, I look good. I'm good. I don't need anybody else. I'm fine. If that means getting a new tattoo, if that means getting a new shirt, if that means whatever you need to make yourself feel better is what I recommend. Taking care of your body. This is a hard one because I know we have difficulty, us women, I know we have difficulty taking care of our bodies. I do. But it's good not to lose yourself. Like, it's really good not to lose yourself. Because if you end up losing yourself, you end up getting so lost that it's hard to find your way back to where you need to be. So if that means you exercise, if that means you eat healthier, if that means you like I said, go for a walk, if you have a dog, go run with your dog, do whatever it is you have to do. Take your husband on a bike ride or hiking or whatever. Do whatever it is you have to do in order to make sure you in the long run feel better. I often, think that, with my situation, God has a plan for me. If that means talking to you all about, self-care and self-love, if that means helping others, I'm going to do it. Because the guy I was with tore me down. I wasn't myself after a while. I love the verse from Esther 4:14, which is, perhaps you are here for such a time as this. For such a time as this. Like, that's so old school, but that's so interesting because it's not wrong. Like, perhaps God put you on this earth for such a time as this. Perhaps he put you here for some reason. I don't know what it is. I still don't know what I'm supposed to do. But he put us all here for a reason. Another one is, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. That's another really good one that I really love, because only He knows what you're going through. Only He knows His plan for you. You just have to give everything up to Him and go, I can't do it anymore, and I'm going to give it to you. So, guys, here was another little episode of Daughters of the King. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope to all see you all next time, okay? All right, bye.